Hello, everyone. Gracie here, and today we are looking at the New York Times bestselling list for graphic novels and manga. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, I feel like I don't want to get trapped into doing videos that are just to stir up controversy or talk about controversial topics. I know those are the ones that get the most views and the most engagement, but I don't want to be completely known for that. I feel like there are enough channels out there who are already known for that, and it's like that's fine. But I also want to talk about positive things too. And honestly, I just need to get more content on my channel. So hey, something to talk about. So let's talk about this. So this is the New York Times graphic novel bestselling list, and manga is here. Only one manga in the top 15, but it is here, and it is My Hero Academia Volume 21. First of all, I gotta say, I love that cover so much. So much. This is the start of one of my favorite arcs in all My Hero Academia. Maybe my favorite arc in the whole series so far. I have not completely caught up with the manga, but I love this arc, so I might have to actually pick up this volume at some point because I just love that cover, and I love it. I just love it so much. Okay. So here, why am I talking about this? Well, first of all, it's notable that this is like in the top 3, the top 5. And it's also noticeable because we can really see what kind of books like actually sell. So here's the thing. The books that are sell on this list, most of these are for like middle schoolers. These are not, you would expect to see something like Avengers or Captain America or something. Not like the actual issues, the weekly issues, but like, the binding together of the issues, the compilations, the volumes, like what manga volumes are, but it's not. Now, I'm not into American comics as much as I'm into manga. For me, manga is just the better, not medium, but just much easier to get into. So here we have kind of the proof in the pudding of that, and that manga is just dominating. Here we have My Hero Academia. It's a superhero manga heavily inspired by American comic book superheroes. And here's volume 21, the most recent volume. And it's here in the top 5 on the New York Times bestsellers list. Like, that's incredible. And all the rest of these books are like targeting for middle schoolers. Watchmen is here in the top 5, but I think that's because the show just came out. And I've heard that the show isn't based on the comic, like it's kind of a sequel-ish thing to it. But nonetheless, Watchmen is in the news. It has been very controversial as well. So obviously they re-released it, and I don't know if you can see, but like you can kind of see the HBO symbol on the cover there. So you can definitely see that it's relevant again. People are talking about it again. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Watchmen, I guess. So it's moved up here. It's obviously a classic comic. I have not read it. And then we see more things. Open borders. What the heck is this? An economics professor argues that opening all borders could bolster the global economy. Why is that a graphic novel? Like, who would want to read that? That sounds like a opinion piece. Or something, or an opinion piece in a newspaper, or something you would read like in a college newspaper or something. Like, why is that a graphic novel? Like, the art looks kind of juvenile. Like, it looks like something that would target like middle schoolers, but who would want to read that? Okay, this is also interesting because we have a couple of books on this list about Dungeons and Dragons. So this is another middle school book. You can kind of see the Scholastic logo down there. And it says, while others work to stay cool in middle school, Sunny has more fun playing Dungeons and Dragons. So we're kind of seeing like the rise of nerd culture here. And, there is some stuff targeted more for adults. We have The Walking Dead Volume 4 that is here. But you have to admit that for kids, they're either reading this stuff, which is about like friendship, or whatever, you have something like Best Friends or drama. You have Watchmen, which is relevant to adults, and so is The Walking Dead. But My Hero Academia is definitely something like people like middle schoolers and young high schoolers, and just high schoolers in general, would get into. Tweens and teens. It is a perfect series. It's right up their alley because My Hero Academia is interesting because it talks about deep enough themes that it is philosophical. It's not pretentious. And because the main characters are, 15, 16 years old, it's relatable for that age demographic. The more I think about My Hero Academia, the more problems I have with it. So I've gotten older. I was homeschooled. I didn't have like the whole high school dynamic thing. So whenever it gets to an arc in the series where it's about a high schoolish thing, I don't really care about it because I just can't relate to it, and I think it's boring. That's why I kind of prefer Vigilantes over the base My Hero Academia story, just because it deals more with actual hero work and how the society works, and not so much. It's not weighed out by the high school crap, but it's popular. It's really popular. It's fun. A lot of people are into it. It's absolutely everywhere. If you go into a GameStop, they just have the stuff everywhere. I would definitely, I think I've said this before in another video, but I would say it's probably the most popular anime over here in the West since something like Naruto, like it's just huge. So obviously it's going to be up here. And I feel like a lot of these like middle school targeted books are bought a lot by like school libraries and just libraries in general. And that definitely plays into My Hero Academia as well. But I also think, manga volumes are pretty cheap. They're $9.99. I think this one is like $7.50 right now on Amazon. They're cheap, so kids can actually afford to get them. And then the Dungeons and Dragons thing is interesting because we also have something called Critical Role. I've heard of this. I have a friend who's into D&D, and he talks about Critical Role a lot. So maybe this is probably more targeted to adults, but it's based on that. I think it's like a podcast or something where they play D&D. So you have something for middle schoolers talking about playing D&D, then you have something that's maybe more for teens and adults talking about D&D. And you have some weird political stuff. This looks interesting. A memoir about World War II. That's not really political. That's historical. But yeah, that open borders thing is really weird. I do not know why. Why does this even exist? I don't even know. Why is it in the top 8 or the top 10? And why does it even exist? I don't know. But we can definitely see manga is moving up. That it is more popular now. And I think we're starting to see this shift. And eventually this could play out in the movie scene as well. This is a discussion that can go over many different videos, but seeing the rise of popularity with My Hero Academia especially, it makes me wonder, like, how much longer is Marvel and MCU gonna last? Like, quite honestly. And here's the thing, My Hero Academia is perfect to kind of pick up that slack. We see it's picking up the slack, at least in the comic book world. I think there are a lot of people who are not really happy with the current state of superhero comics, so they're jumping over to manga and they're reading stuff like My Hero Academia and One Punch Man. And what can I say? My Hero Academia is here. It is also the only manga here, which kind of makes me sad because a new volume of One Piece just came out. But it's here. It's here. My Hero Academia Volume 21. It's here. It has a great cover. I love this arc so much. I have to get this. Watchmen is here, again, because currently cultural relevant. I also think it's interesting that a lot of these graphic novels, they seem to be self-contained stories and definitely targeting toward middle school. Like even this World War II one, targets middle schoolers, and this weird political one, which you might say, oh, Gracie, it's not political, like immigration and borders is not political. But why are you talking about it with middle schoolers? They don't care. They don't care about that kind of stuff. Nazi-occupied France during World War II. Another World War II one here. See, this is also interesting. This is something that middle schoolers would be interested in. It's just interesting that a lot of these, for graphic novels, for graphic books and manga, it's a lot of middle schooler books, My Hero Academia here, and that's it. Nothing much else to say here. The manga is on the rise, and it seems like American superhero comics are losing their audience to manga, and especially My Hero Academia. I think it's interesting to note. I think we need to keep an eye on it because this could mark a shift eventually to television and movies, but we'll have to see. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Tweet at me at Twitter at GracieVV what other topics you want me to cover. My link to my Twitter will be in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.